Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We are Baltimore positively getting ready. I'm a little giddy. I woke up today and I said to my wife, we don't have enough hot cocoa and marshmallows for the pending snowmageddon that we're going to have here for the championship game weekend. I tell you what, I had a crab cake tour stop almost ready to go, but we're pushing it off. A cup of Super Bowl begins Super Bowl week. On the 2nd, we will begin our activities at Fadley's downtown, hopefully dug out by then. All brought to you by the Maryland Lottery. I have a handful of it still smells like the seasonal. All this snow, I want to build a snowman. Maybe it's right. Candy cane cash I'll have to give away all week long as we raise awareness for the Maryland Food Bank, as well as dozens of other charities. I'm setting all of that up through the snowstorm. Our friends at GBMC are also involved in telling some stories about saving lives as we enter 2026. This guy doesn't have a coach of his team. I don't have a coach of my team by the time the snowstorm and everything settles here. John Martin is the executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming. I don't know if you've been hiding from me or I've been hiding from you, or you want to push the Steelers fan who also doesn't have a coach as we speak onto me. It's a wild football time. I'll just say that. I'll just leave it at your lap on that and let you speak to it however you want, because these are weird times from a football perspective, but also a huge weekend for sports wagering, huge weekend for people who love football, sit around, eat chocolate chip cookies and buffalo wings and whatever we're going to do here through the Super Bowl. But from the football perspective, it is sort of first and foremost in everybody's minds. I think people want to talk to me about is about who the Ravens going to hire.
It's interesting because on a number of fronts, and obviously there are betting lines on these things. I'm not even going to go down that path. They said something the other day that, and I didn't bother to fact check it. You probably did. That this is the last time this happened was only like a few years ago, where they had so many openings. I don't remember them, but even if they did, the number of high-profile openings is unprecedented this year.
Yeah, and the Packers job almost came open. Andy Reid's hanging in, and that job could have come open. I don't think anyone in the stadium, as I sat there in Pittsburgh 2 weeks ago and the ball sailed looped right, that we would have thought both of those coaches would have been gone at all. And I mean, and then the Buffalo chaos this week. So it's been as much conversation about head coaching and people and John Harbaugh's press conference in New York and Steve Bisciotti's press conference last week as it's even been about the games. But I know we get lottery activity. And one of the big things we've talked about here the last couple of weeks, and I still have not found my picture with Meadowlark Lemon, as we finally, speaking of sports that matter, the Washington Generals, man,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
by the way, I got to give love to Coppin State. They played South Carolina the other day, and I went to Coppin's my partner, and I was over with Dr. Jenkins. We had all this fun. The South Carolina girls walked out on the court, and the Coppin girls walked down the court. And
Oh
the
boy.
South Carolina girls were like, there were girls 6'9", 6'11", and the Coppin, and I looked at it, I'm like, it was Washington Generals, which
Yep.
plays right
Yep.
in to the
Yeah.
Harlem Globetrotters. We have a winner. Somebody's going to sit like in a couple of weeks at CFG Bank Arena because they played and they're going to get the confetti. I hope they get the confetti shower, John. Please tell me.
We've been talking about this for weeks now. The Harlem Globetrotters 100th anniversary in 2026, and they're on their road show, as they always are this time of the year. And they will be in Baltimore. Actually, will not be CFG Arena. It'll
Oh,
be
it's
out
not.
at
That's right. It's UMBC.
it'll be at UMBC.
I'm sorry. My bad.
And we've been talking about that in addition to about 30 winners of 2 tickets to the game and merchandise. One very special VIP person gets to sit on the bench with the Globetrotters during the game, and that is Kiera Moten of Germantown, Maryland. Kiera, come on down, sit on
No,
the
no, no.
bench.
I hope she can shoot the three or whatever, because
Oh
they might
man.
even bring her out on the court, right? I mean, like
Oh,
they
would
they
that be
they're
cool?
gonna do this up with the lottery, I think, right? I mean, I want to know what's gonna happen here this night, because the Harlem Globetrotters have been doing fun for like 100 years. They're
Oh
gonna figure
yeah.
this out.
Yeah, so that should be a lot of fun. That should be a lot of fun, and we'll hopefully be there and capture it. And I'm sure have a nice little story on our mdlottery.com website afterwards to show how Kiera enjoyed that game on March 15th. with the Harlem Globetrotters.
Do you know the Harlem Globetrotters have females on the team? Do you we know this?
Yes, for years they've had that now for a number.
I,
Wasn't what's the girl from the woman from the Los Angeles, Sparks? What's in their name?
I'll just read the names here, but Hammer Harrison, Torch George, Thunder Law, Jet Rivers, Wham Middleton, Hotshot Swanson, TNT Lister, she's female, Ace Porter, Sunshine West. I mean, this is. I kind of want to go, John. Like, give me the date again? It's at UMBC Arena. I've been
March
over there a little bit.
March 15th.
All right. Well, I want to get in on the fun night. Now that I'm on the website, the Meadowlark Lemon and the Curly Neal, it comes back to me and me bothering my dad. Oh my God, I begged my dad to take me to see the Globetrotters. So congratulations, Kira. Get over there, put on a show, let the ladies bring you out on the court, hit the three, win the car, do whatever they have to do there, get the confetti shot.
Well, wait a minute. Don't get too far down that promo price
No,
battle.
they don't do that. No,
I don't know about a car thing.
Okay, I'm making that up.
Yeah, they'll have some fun. Hey, you know what else is fun?
What's fun?
Next month, the Olympics. The Olympics begin in 2026, the Winter Olympics.
When you say that, I hear the song. Is that terrible? Like, just you say the Winter Olympics begin. Yeah, and I hear that, and I'm like, yeah. I mean, I do. Yes.
Yeah. And this year we are doing a special promotion with our Keno product. Now through February 22nd, purchase and enter your Keno tickets into your My Lottery Rewards account, and you may be eligible to win a variety of offerings. But ideally, you want to win the VIP LA 28 trip to the Summer Games in Los Angeles in 2028. And we have our first winner, Barbara Henderson. Are you ready for this? From Aspen Hill, Maryland. See, Winter Olympics there, Aspen. I was going for a little.
Oh, okay. I like that. I like they have hills there. Friends of mine ski there. Yes, I like it. I like it.
Aspen Hill, Maryland. Barbara Henderson will be the first of our lucky winners who will be anxiously watching these winter games, but more importantly, dreaming about Los Angeles in 2028 and being one of our many winners that will join us for that activity.
I see. Dawn Staley was the coach that coached for South Carolina the other day when I went over to Coppin, and I kind of thought she might still be the coach, and she's not the coach of the current team. Just like I had to go and figure all of this out. It's Carol Lawson, just going to lead the team in 28. So winners are going to get serious summer game hoopage and the greatest athletes in the world. So let's go win, right? USA, that's what I want to say. That was my point.
There you go. Well done.
All right.
So in addition, it gets kind of lost. We have some jackpots that are rolling at the Mega Millions and Powerball level. We're in that nice, comfortable 3-digit range, over $200 million in both categories.
I don't know why we sneeze at that, by the way. You know what I mean? Like it's 266 million, 209 million. I'm like, well, I'm going to have John on the show this week. Should we talk about $266 million? But I mean, the play that we had last month was crazy, right? Like getting it to that number, but this is still significant. People should get out and consider this. And can I ask you a really serious, because we don't get blizzards here, and you're a Midwestern guy, and my wife's been laughing at me about the milk, the bread, the toilet, all of that. So let's fill the tank of gas up. Let's get back up this and get more ice cream and all this other stuff.
Yes.
What's this do to the lottery when we get a storm like this for like 3-4 days?
Absolutely. No, yeah.
What happens to the Maryland lottery?
Well, it slows up. I'll tell you that.
It does. Okay. I thought it would.
Again, people are homebound. So, being on the road doing their errands, whether just go get gas, and we hope that when they're out and about, they consider the Maryland lottery, play responsibly when they do, whether it's a scratch off game or a fast play game or any of our money draw games, and certainly the promotions that go with that. But no, you would certainly expect an attrition. It's just tough
people
to get out.
Moving around. Yeah. And we're all gearing up. John Mars, I just wanted to ask that because I don't get. It's not often that I'm asking my app, what batteries, crazy things when there's going to be 2 feet of snow, because I'm not from Buffalo. You know what I mean? So that's, I'm from Baltimore.
Buffalo also in need of a coach, but we digress.
We digress. Back to sport. By the way, sports wagering here. We're coming up in the biggest couple of. I said to my wife, there's only 3 games left. And sort of as a fan, I'm like, whoa. And one of them doesn't have a quarterback this week. Like all sorts of things are going on in addition to the purple plumes of smoke we'll have in Owings Mills. And by the way, we'll give it to you first on the WNST tech service if you're out there. Luke will be taking care of that with our friends at Cold Roofing and Gordian Energy. But there are a couple of games left here. We had a national championship the other night.
Wow, how about that, huh?
Yeah, I would think an Ohio guy would never think he'd live the day to
No,
see Indiana win a football championship,
I
right?
tell
Like it's
you,
just weird.
Woody and Bo are now spinning themselves halfway to China.
How about
Uh,
Bobby Knight? What's he
oh,
thinking?
geez, yeah,
Right,
with them.
exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Wow, that's something. But good on them. I'm a firm believer, and probably because my hopes have been dashed for 60 plus years, being a Cleveland sports fan, is that I contend when you're on a run, when you're on a heater like this, you better go all the way because you don't get to start from that spot next year. You
There ain't
start
no
way at the
tomorrow,
end of the
baby.
line.
There's just right now.
So yeah, don't think about, oh gee, that's wonderful how close I got. No, 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 you better win it. I mean, they hats off to them
No
because yes,
greater
everybody
example
laughed.
than how Sean McDermott, John Harbaugh, whose ball sailed
Oh,
right, Mike Tomlin, who never had a losing season, just it's a tough gig, right? And this is where I'm going to open the door for the executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and involved very significantly in the sports wagering side to give some advice here because this is the time of year where, like, even I said to my wife, there's only a couple games
yep.
left. I did a piece this week with a Las Vegas guy who set the original odds, who set the refrigerator Perry,
Oh, geez.
40 years ago, right?
Yeah,
He's
right.
written a book about how much sports wagering has changed. And I would say, and you know this, we're not playing lottery games. Part of you said slows down. Sports wagering is still available on your phone now in a way that it just was not 4 or 5 years ago. And you sit in front of that. So let's talk about it a little bit because when you feel like
Sure.
there's only a couple of games left, people are like, oh, I got a better luck. There's only a couple of games left. Please
Well,
do this responsibly,
yeah, yeah. And to put it in perspective, I mean, here we are basically in January, so we have the first half of our fiscal 2026 year in the books, right? July through December. And each year, we're human. We measure ourselves year over year. How did we progress? What's the situation? Last year total, fiscal 26. I'm sorry, fiscal 25. We had about $90 million in tax revenue from sports wagering to the state of Maryland, which was a big step up from the year prior to that.
and it
So here
began
we
at
are.
zero 4 years ago, just right.
Right, right, and
Okay.
every year it begins at zero. You set the reset to zero on day one. So here we are, 6 months in. We are already at 78 million plus. When we get our January numbers, which will be reported February 10th, I fully expect the month of January we will have eclipsed all of last year's tax revenue contribution to the state on 7 months in. So
Without the Super Bowl, by the way, yet.
without, yes, with that in the back pocket. So that gives you some indication that year over year, I'd love to get this guy's book, the exponential growth, and certainly mobile wagering, online wagering has a big component of that. Anyone who at this point has their head in the sand and says it doesn't count, doesn't matter, isn't paying attention. But with that comes the increased mantle to play responsibly and educate yourself. Parlay wagers sound appealing. They sound, boy, it'd be great to put $5 down and win $5,000. But those things are long shots, and there's a reason that they're structured that way. So educate yourself, play responsibly, set a budget in dollars, set a budget in time, do it more as a social environment and a way to enjoy the game, not as a way to make money or profit from it. And we hope that people will heed those warnings and be able to enjoy it through the last 3 games, you say, of the NFL season and beyond.
And look, you love football. I love football. I kid you about Browns. You kid me about Ravens. We all, whoever my Giants fans are, they're all coming out. And these Patriot and Broncos fans are. I said, are these my only choices? I feel like I've had those choices before, but we do love sports, and I think the addiction to it for all of us, and the fun that we're going to have this week, and the snow falling, and all of that. Enjoy the games. Everybody's going to be a little homebound, I think, based on the forecast here this week. Please do it responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER's also available out there, and I talk about this all the time. And the book is Artman Terrace is the fella's name. I mean, it's a name I know actually, who set lines and very involved in the boxing circles out in Vegas. A great piece. I mean, I brought him on overtime because I was really interested in it. So you can check that out at Baltimore Positive. John Martin is my guest. He's executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming. Then we talked Olympics. We talked about all of the, but you have a whole bunch of other promotions out there as well. And I think the interesting things are the progressives and the feeling of, and I haven't been to Vegas in a while. I see games like poker and craps and 3-card poker and blackjack that are fast play games here. And fast play is something I want to give you a minute to talk about a little bit because we talk, with Powerball, Mega Millions, that gets on the news. Fast play is one of those things I think people who play and people who use mdlottery.com, it's an interesting way to play. And I see people playing it, and I'm wearing my Costa shirt when I'm out, and I see in places I see fast play being played.
Yeah, fast play is kind of that hybrid game. It plays a lot like a scratch-off ticket, but it prints off the computer terminal, whether you're at a self-service vending machine or at a clerk terminal in one of our 4,300 lottery retailers around the state. So it's a little different way to engage. In this last announcement of new games, we had a casino theme tied around those. So we a slight nod to our friends in the casino industry, and yeah, it's a fun way to engage different players, different segments on how to win. And we have winners every day at the Maryland Lottery. You can go to mdlottery.com to read all about people who win at not only fast play, but at our racetracks game. Matter of fact, we had our largest racetracks winner ever. A gentleman won at the American Legion in Edgewater. $660,414 on one single racetracks ticket. How did you do that? Check out mdlottery.com for all the details.
Or you can check out last week's piece because Seth and I went through this because I said the same thing. What Edgewater? I've had a crab cake there. I know Edgewater, right down by Annapolis. So you're not going to fool me on that. I know where Edgemere, I know where Edgewood, and I know where Edgewater is.
There you go. You got your edges covered.
And I know where the edge of this segment is as well. The Maryland Lottery, we're going to be doing a cup of soup or bowl for the Maryland Food Bank, as well as a bunch of other charities. It's my favorite week of the year. For 27 years, I went to the real Super Bowl. This year, I've been to San Francisco. I've been to Santa Clara. I was there recently. It's nice and all that, but we have mouths to feed. We got stories to be told around here, and we're going to tell those, as well as give away candy cane cash. We're going to give away some soup as well. We're going to start our party at Fadley's on Monday, State Fair on Tuesday. Wednesday, we will be at Coco's in Lauraville. Thursday, we're going to move it to Pizza John's in Essex. Yes, they have a crab cake and it's delicious, and crab soup too, and really good pizza that I crave. And then on Friday, we're going to be at Costas in Timonium in the big location at the racetrack, where the OTB is there, and they have real racing on and racetracks on, and delicious oysters Rockefeller. So come on out and enjoy that. Also with our friends at GBMC. John, I appreciate obviously coming on all the time and supporting what we do here, but the Cup of Super Bowl is my favorite thing because it's the one week a year where I'm allowed to cry and hear these stories and tell these stories that are tough to tell. So we'll be telling a little bit of those, but also laugh a little bit. We'll have a head coach by then and a football game ahead. So did I leave anything out here this week? I think I got everything in, right?
No, we covered everything. Again, all the details at mdlottery.com about updates on promotions, winners, new exciting fun games that are out and available, and we'll get you caught up next week.
All right. John Martin is here. He's the executive director of all things Maryland Lottery and Gaming. I'm excited about the Harlem Globetrotters winner as well, and we're excited about some people are excited about all the snow. As long as I don't have to shovel it too much, as long as I got the right food, the right company, and a big announcement for me next week, I should say, through the snowstorm that I do want to get into this segment, is that it is the 25th anniversary of the Ravens Super Bowl. And Super Bowl 35 happens on Wednesday. So if you are snowed in, make sure you're checking out our Listen Live, because I am going to be inundating the airwaves with great stories of the first Purple Rain. I am Nestor. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking. Baltimore, positive.